Bonjour tout le monde et bienvenue à la Connexion Française. Hey everybody and welcome to French Connection. Now today I'll be showing you how to transform one of these crêpes into one of these, a mille crêpe. Let's begin. So to make a mille crêpe, which means 1,000 crepes, first of all you're going to need 1,000 crepes. There we go. Next, you'll need a large mixing bowl, 1 cup of whipping cream, or also known as heavy cream, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and don't forget your whisk. So to start, combine your 1 cup of whipping cream with your 2 tablespoons of sugar. Make sure you get every last drop. Alors, 1 et 2. And now you're ready to mix. If you're using a hand mixer, start with a low to medium speed. If you're beating this by hand, try to pace yourself so you don't tire out too quickly. Whoops! Looks like I'm going to need a bigger bowl. Make sure your bowl is deep enough if you're using a hand mixer to ensure that the whipping cream doesn't splash everywhere. There we go, that's better now. Start with a low speed and gradually increase it as the cream starts to thicken. Also, it would be best to use the whisk attachment for your hand mixer instead of the beater attachment. Unfortunately for me, I was lazy and that resulted in this messier setup. And of course, don't forget the sides to ensure that everything is evenly mixed. As I'm slowly beating in more and more air, the cream begins to thicken. Once you have a medium thickness, your whipped cream is ready, or if you'd like, you can continue for a thicker whipped cream. Today, I'll be making a strawberry mille crêpe. You can use however many strawberries you want, so I will leave that up to you. But for me, 1 container of strawberries was enough for this cake. Now, you're going to want to slice your strawberries pretty thin, like so. See? Nice and thin. Et voilà! Okay, now that you have everything prepared, we can start my favorite part, the assembly. So, what you're going to do now is you take your first crêpe and slather it with a layer of whipped cream. It doesn't have to be a thick layer of whipped cream, just enough to cover most of the crêpe. My spatula isn't doing a very good job, so instead, you can use a butter knife or any other utensil to help you get those edges. I accidentally made my first few crêpes a little too thick, which is why they look a little bit different. Alright, that's more or less good enough, and now we add some strawberries. And remember, you want your strawberries to be nice and thin, just like your crêpe. If not, that's okay too, so don't worry too much about it and have a little fun. Now that that's done, I can add my next layer. Rinse and repeat this process until you have used up all your crêpe or until you are satisfied with how tall it is. Don't worry if you have some crêpe that are a little ripped. Once you add it with the whipped cream and everything else, nobody will be able to notice it. Now, try to be as consistent as you can with the whipped cream and strawberries. Right now, I am adding them as I go along, putting the strawberries in slightly different spots where I can see that there is a little bit of unevenness. That way, my mille crêpe will be nice and even when I finish. If you want, you can also have some layers that don't have any strawberries at all. You can do it however you want. Heck, you may not even need to use strawberries if you don't like strawberries. You can sub in with any other fruit of your choice. Or maybe no fruits at all, and maybe you can use a chocolate whipped cream instead. Almost done. Now, because I'm a whipped cream fiend, I actually doubled the whipped cream recipe that I showed you earlier. So you can also use more if you'd like, or you can use less. It's really all up to you. Well, this looks like my final layer. Now, once you have it finished, you can leave it like this if you want. But I love whipped cream, so I'm going to add 1 last layer. And as a finishing touch, some strawberries. Et voilà, we have finished. So now that we've finished our mille crêpe, why don't we cut into it and finally enjoy it? Let's see what it looks like on the inside. Now, I love to eat, so I'm going to give myself a nice big serving. It might be better to use a spatula when serving a piece so that you don't accidentally cut the bottom layer like I'm doing here. You can see why this cake is called a mille crêpe. With all the layers of crêpe, whipped cream, and strawberries, it's a very beautiful cake. I hope everybody enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more fun videos. Let us know in the comments down below what flavor of mille crêpe you'd like, or tag us on Instagram if you make one. Join us next time on La Connexion Française. À bientôt. See you soon.